I often come across people with all sorts of issues in the workplace. Employees obviously have concerns, and the concerns range from relatively minor things to very serious things. They range from unfair dismissal to sexual harassment to discrimination to issues to do with COVID or concerns to do with COVID, safety in the workplace, health and safety, and so on and so forth. And obviously, the advice in each situation will depend on the particular circumstances. But occasionally I come across a very small number of people who have a grievance or who have been wronged in the workplace. And the employer, in these very small number of cases, actually is holding their hands up and accepting that what they did or said was unacceptable and was wrong, and are trying to make amends. And they have bent over backwards as best they can to try to make amends and bring the dispute or the hurt or the grievance or the ill will to an end. And the employee is unwilling to do so because the employee appears to have made the mistake of falling in love with their grievance, falling in love with their sense of being badly treated or unfairly treated or ill-used. In other words, the feeling that they get from being able to hold the employer's feet to the fire, as it were, as opposed to just resolving the complaint and going back to work. The feeling that they get from having the grievance and embracing it closely to them is actually worth more to a very small number of people who, in my view, make this mistake, because nobody's perfect and employees are not expected to be perfect in the workplace. Employers are not expected either to be perfect. And when things go wrong and somebody holds their hands up and says, look, this shouldn't have happened, it's wrong, we're trying to make amends, we're trying to remedy or repair this relationship, and the other party is so enamoured with and finds so agreeable their sense of wrong, their sense of hurt, their sense of justice, their sense of being badly treated, that they simply can't let it go, can't park the thing and go back to work. And I think it's a mistake, because sooner or later the employer is just going to get fed up and try to move on as best they can and basically take a business approach to it or a practical, pragmatic view. So don't make the mistake, if you're an employee, of falling in love with your grievance or your sense of being ill-used or ill-treated, and do consider winning battles, picking battles and winning battles, and perhaps losing a war. In other words, the long-term relationship between you and employer may be seriously undermined and degraded if you continue to wish to look for things by way of compensation or recompense for the wrong that was done to you, especially in a situation where the employer is essentially saying, yes, I messed up, I have accepted that, let's just please now do whatever, move on and put it behind us. It does happen, doesn't happen that often, that people do fall in love with their relationship, or with their grievance rather, with their feeling of being badly treated. But it does happen, and I've seen it in a not infrequent number of cases, quite frankly, where people seem to be so happy that they actually have something that they can hold over the employer like a sword of Damocles, that they simply end up shooting themselves in the other foot because they're not going back to work, or the relationship is now completely at an end, and the remedy that they think might be open to them isn't there at all. Anyway, hope you find this video useful. If you do, I would appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.